Hi, Muggy here again. The truck's finally back in one piece, and I repaired the blown up bubbler, and immediately after that I had a lot of pump troubles, so the truck's been off the road for 3.5 weeks now. But what I did to try and stop a repeat of the bubbler explosion is I installed a second oil pressure switch. And what I did is where you see the brass piece coming out of the cylinder head, that's where the original oil pressure switch was. So I fabricated a T with some parts from the hardware store, and then added a second oil pressure switch along with the original one into the two arms of the T. So now what happens is that when I switch the ignition on and I'm warming the engine up on the glow plugs, which is when the explosion happened, I'm not generating any gas. And then when I crank the engine over, it's only when the oil pressure rises and closes that top two-pronged oil pressure switch that the signal then goes to the relay, or the click-on, to close the contact and feed power to the cell. Likewise, as soon as I turn the ignition off, then as soon as the oil pressure drops, the cell is disconnected. So hopefully at no point will I be able to have the cell running without the engine actually turning over. So hope that was a sort of clear enough explanation. And what I'll do is I'll show you the thing starting up. Zoom back out. And as you can see there are two gauges and the on-off switch and the telltale light. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start the truck up, wait till the glow plugs warm up, and as you can see now, even if I switch it on, nothing will happen. There's the glow plugs. Okay, so switch that on, and there you can see I'm drawing a little over 20 amps, and it's 13 volts, maybe a little over 13 volts. And let the thing come back to idle. So it's just over 13 volts and maybe 22 amps. And actually what I'll do is I'll show you what happens when I switch the thing off. See the light, about a second later, half a second later, the light goes out. So I'll turn the ignition on again. See even though the switch is on, nothing's going through the cell. Turn it on, and then as soon as the oil pressure comes up, we have contact on the cell. And there's a little tank working. You can see some return from the engine. fans running, so the engine's warmed up, but the cell was still cold. So with the E-Light mix I've just put in, drawing about close to 25 amps, I could maybe make it a little more active and then use the PWM to control it at a steady 20 amps. I ran this rig the other day and I was getting 1 point just on 2 liters a minute, and it was between 1.75 and 2 liters a minute, and I think the mmW was 5.3 mmW. Okay, hopefully somebody will find the safety idea of the oil pressure switch useful, and if anybody has any questions, just drop me a line. Moggy out.